Peace, quick letter, think fast. The non-judgment goes for everything that you do. So, like we're staying in the moment, staying in the now, and we're dealing with our thoughts. If a thought arises, you don't want to judge the thought. You know what I'm saying? You want to let it flow. But what I'm getting to is, sometimes on our spiritual growth, because I think about last night, I've been doing pretty good with my diet, been eating extremely light, at the basically like the 1 meal a day type of vibe, and sometimes even almost no meal in a day, where I mostly just drink liquids and never really eat. And yesterday I had a little day where the urge to just get a vegan pizza, was very, very strong in me. And usually when it happens like that, I usually just tell my high source, higher self, I'm like, look, if you're gonna make it this hard to not eat this pizza, then it is what it is. I'm gonna just take it as a sign as you telling me to eat this pizza in this moment, Cause and things waver like that, cause you could be eating healthy. Say for instance, like it was your body, your higher self told you to, clean up and eat healthier. Then, say for instance, you done got to a place where you're all right. You got to that place of healthiness that you need to get to. Now it's all right for you to kind of coast back into, your normal diet. But, now your logic done took control. So now it's like the logic, like, well, no, now you got to stay with the regimen, So first the spirit told you to, to eat healthier. And then the spirit dropped back like, all right, now you could do what you do. But then the logic steps in, or the egoic mind, and like, no, stay with it, be rigid in it, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, just stay with it, you know what I'm saying? That could throw you off, as well. But just thinking about, I had that urge to get the peace. And again, it's like, here it is when I'm looking to bring more light into the body, stay in that extremely high vibratory state. But I'm also familiar with the fact that you could get sick from alkalinity. Like there is a such thing as where you could be too, again. And with that, that's what really added, where knowing that knowledge really like, how can I say, solidified that, all right, it really is about balance. Because as much as we go around here looking for, the highest alkalinity and everything, of course, that cleans us up and gets us away from that old super acidic nature that we, once was, dealing with. But once you get your vibration to a certain place, then, you keep a certain balance or equilibrium in your pH level in your body, which in most cases 7. Where area 7 is normally that little rest area. Matter of fact, the area 7 with the gematria, and then, resting on the 7th day for the creation. See that correlation, but it's the balance of the pH level in the middle. But again, what I'm getting to as well is just not being mad at yourself for like going outside of what you plan for, dealing with your food or your diet, and with anything in essence. That's why you don't want to have no egoic thought of like, this is how I, like an identity of how spirituality should be, but that's still identity. Regardless if regardless if it's attached to the word spirituality, once you go into identifying things too much, then you throw things off, because if you got the identity of a vegan, you're going to want to kill yourself if you made a mistake, or if somebody put a little bit of hamburger meat in what you was eating and you didn't know, you're going to want to jump off the bridge, I crossed the line that I drew for myself in the sand, and it's going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? And you could see the correlation where people identify with something when they cross the line of their identity, because they identify with it so strong, it's almost like the end of the world for them, compared to somebody that, just going with the flow and don't take things too serious in this matrix, where it's like, oh, all right, I ate something not too healthy today. Cool, keep it running, you know what I'm saying? And reason why I made this video, because I'm walking, and like I woke up early, I had the urge to get me, matter of fact, This is a good little drink. So put these people on blast. This little Zen Basil got 20% of the vitamin A, 15% of the calcium. It also has the omega-3 and omega-6 basil leaf. But I woke up this morning with the urge, because usually if I eat something like a vegan pizza, that energy, the energy or the vibration of that pizza gets in the body, and then it wants company. It wants more vibrations just like it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when I go a little bit backwards on the diet, I don't say backwards for lack of a better word, but backwards in the place of where I want to be with it. When I go a little bit backwards, sometimes it'll strengthen that addiction back to those unhealthy foods. So like when I eat that pizza, then the next day, it's even a stronger urge to want to eat a pizza or a cookie or anything with sugar and salt in it. But then after yesterday, I ate that pizza, and come today, like I'm clear-minded. I didn't have the urge to. It was there faintly, but not enough to where it was like, where it becomes so strong where I get into that indecisive mode in the store. Because in most cases, that'll kick up like where it's like that itch, that almost like a high needing to be scratched, like that sugar and salt high or that addiction from eating that pizza or whatever it is. It'll get strong in me and it'll be calling me, but then I'm in between like, but nah, I know I should be eating healthy, but that voice like, come to me, eat the salt, eat the sugar, I taste good in the moment. But you know what I'm saying, is that whole vibe of being pulled in by that vibration of, and again, for the example, I'm using the vegan pizza, because even though it's vegan, it still has all kind of artificial things in it, in essence, like until they got a pizza tree, like, well, in nature, you go somewhere and you find a pizza tree, and they find out that this pizza tree existed way before time, like it's just as old as a ginkgo biloba tree or something like that. All right, that would be a healthy way to eat pizza, if it grew on a tree, because that's natural, it's straight from. But the fact remains that no matter how much they label things as vegan, the fact that it's artificial is still gonna, in most cases, throw off your DNA. Especially with a lot of this vegan stuff still having soy in it too, which a lot of them, let that have a pass. But again, getting back to the main point though, it's not judging yourself after, eating, and then even through the process where, like, when I caught that strong urge, you're just like, all right, the urge is strong, and it was my first mind, the first feeling or first thought that I had of eating was eating a pizza, and I felt like, and I was feeling the vibe that it was more of my dogmatic logic, like that dogmatic logical identity of being a spiritual person that was like, hey, you gotta stay eating, something extremely good, like, what I'm saying, instead of going with what I was feeling in the moment. I was feeling like eating a pizza, so that's what I went with. And then, I did it, and I did it without regret, and I felt good. Matter of fact, because a lot of times too, I'm starting to implement that into whenever I go, to eating something that I may deem, that's not as healthy for me. I kind of start to laugh and be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love myself regardless. Like, that's what makes me bust out laughing, because I'm like, I have my hand full of my little goodies, and I'm like, I love myself. Because that's what it's all about. You got to love yourself, You creating a certain tension, by being against yourself, and, because all you got is yourself. So once you start going against yourself, you know what I'm saying, that's creating a lot of, turmoil, and then that you going against yourself creates that vibe outside of yourself as well, you know what I'm saying? Well, now you're going to have people that's on both sides of the fence coming into your to your physical existence, influencing you on both sides, hey, eat a cookie, hey, you should be more healthy, because that's what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your mind is that battle between, being rigid on your diet and kind of going with the flow with it, Once you start battling or judging yourself, then it turns into people outside of you, present that situation outside of your body. But again, it's about no regrets. That's where that childlike vibe come in at. It's a balance. You have the childlike vibe, but it's also with the logic brought into it as well. But don't hate yourself. If go with the flow. If you're feeling strong to eat whatever it is, just go with it. And deal with it later and see like, all right, dang, I slipped up. But don't hate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate yourself. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't feel guilty or shame. Because guilty and shame, I would feel guilty and shame if I was like, I'm a vegan and I slipped up. Man, all my vegan friends, they strenuous on their thing. Man, I can't tell them that I slipped up because I got this vegan identity to keep. You know what I'm saying? And by that you creating stress, because now instead of just living life freely, I'm watching out. I'm living it for the people outside of me, because I don't want them to think that this, and I don't want them to think that, and I don't want them to think this about my identity that I'm trying to hold up. So like it's an identity. Just be. Eat what makes you feel good. At the end of the day, if you go by that, eating what makes you feel good and in a holistic manner. So eat what makes you feel good. Because say, for instance, we go through trial and error. You could eat something and it tastes good at the moment, but it don't feel good later. Eat stuff that make you feel good holistically. Well, not only it tastes good in the moment, but it's also going to feel good for your body later on down the line. I feel like if you follow that guideline, you won't be able to steer yourself too wrong. Like again, just making sure it it feels good from first consumption, because candy and alcoholic drinks, they could taste good from the beginning, but then later on down the line, when you hung over off of the sugar rush or the alcohol you know energy throwing you off, it's like, oh, that sweetness came with a price later. So you want to look for foods that holistically, make you feel good. And again, to each his own, on how we vibe with foods and stuff like that as well. But for the most part, my thing is just not being mad at yourself and not, feeling like, oh man, I ate something. Like, don't be mad, because again, I came today. And one of the things that stuck out, where I caught my higher self basically said, is like, the reason why you feel good, because when you ate that food last night, it wasn't with any regrets. Like, you wasn't mad at yourself, you didn't regret it, you felt good about it, and so you feel good, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I even had a little vegan brownie. I forgot that I even ate that because of how good I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying? So, again, it's just about, not getting mad at yourself. Our spiritual growth is gonna be little slip ups and things of this nature. Just stay resilient. And know that it's okay to make mistakes. Don't take your spiritual growth too serious. Like when they say don't take it too serious, that's where it's at. Like, be able to laugh stuff off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you too militant. You too. Because the society, that egoic mind of society, taught you to be so strong and militant and hard on yourself about the things you do. Like, nah, be childlike, be graceful in that. Like, don't have to be hard on yourself about that situation. Just live. Dust yourself off and try again. You slip up. First you don't succeed. Dust yourself off and try again. Rest in power. Live. Blessings. But that's the whole vibe. Just don't get mad at yourself, hate yourself. Players mess up too. So players fuck up too now. It's all good. That's basically it. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now is the vibrate. I know it ain't like the old one. Now it's the vibrate, of course, man. Stay guilt free, stay shameless. You know, just live childlike.